What's going on, everybody? This is Roman here with Urban Gospel Choir. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be popping up on your screen or your phone or whatever. Thank you for joining your rehearsal, and thank you for joining your local choir. Happy to have you. Another video brought to you by me, so let's get into it. I want to thank you guys, first of all. You guys are really supporting me. I really appreciate it. YouTube is really showing the amount of support you guys are supporting me. You guys are really helping me get, some good views, but most of all, I really hope that the people that need to be watching this are watching. I make this for the people that, man, they want to just, they want to be open, want to be honest, they want to be, they want to hear somebody talk about real life problems, but they want to hear somebody talk about real God answers. And so hopefully I'm really doing that for you. So I thank you guys for joining your local choir. I really appreciate you guys for supporting Urban Gospel Choir. So thank you for that. So today I'm going to be going through my last 3 posts that I've made on Threads. So if you're not following me on the Threads app, follow me right here. This is my @ and hopefully I post something that really helps you guys. So my most recent thread: enjoy the Lord, he will give what your heart asks. Psalms 37 verse 4 CEB. Restoration begins with rest. It may not happen as fast as you think, but it'll be on time. It may not be as easy as you imagine, but his burden is light. And for all you doers out there, it's not work. Rest isn't produced from your work. It was produced from his work, so you can rest in the finished work. Man, this verse is so important to me because I just felt like I was struggling. I felt like I was not resting because, resources are tight right now. We're about to have a little baby. We're about to move on top of that. And, having a baby and moving are things that you should do at separate times. But, we're kind of doing it all at once. And so when finances are tight, that doesn't help. That doesn't make anybody feel at peace. And so this verse is very soothing to my soul because it's, I tell God, what I want, he's going to give me what my heart is asking for. And ultimately, what I want is peace. Ultimately, when I tell God, please give us some more resources, give us some more finances, I'm really asking him for peace, because this is the thing, God won't put you in a position that you can't overcome. He won't put you in a position that will kill you. And so instead of asking him to take me out of the position, I'd rather ask him to give me what will help me get through the position, to get through this moment. And so this verse is so amazing to me, and I really wanted to add that note for doers because I know a lot of people that they kind of find their identity in what they do, and there's no shame in that. I'm not trying to make fun of them or anything. A lot of the great people in my life are doers. They get stuff done, but ultimately, when it comes to resting, that's a little bit harder for them to kind of sit down and chill and not move. They feel like they need to do something. If they're not doing something, then they're nothing. Like they think that they equal, what they produce. And so if they're not producing, then they think that their value is lessened, which is not true. I think our value is the greatest when we are resting. That's why God gives us so many positions. Lay us down in green pastures near water. He's gonna lay us down. Give us His rest. And at that point, we start producing fruit. Like, think about a tree. A tree doesn't it doesn't stress about producing fruit. That's naturally what it does. It rests in its natural abilities. And so I really believe that this verse from God was just telling me, I'm going to give you exactly what your heart wants. I'm going to give you exactly what you need, So I just appreciate the verse. It's just so calming and soothing to my heart. And it's a good verse when you feel like you're kind of going through so many things. You're juggling a bunch of different storms, So I appreciate that verse for that reason. My next thread is: create a clean heart for me, God. Put a new faithful spirit deep inside me. Psalms 51 verse 10 CEB. Sometimes you need to get away, step away, walk away, and say this. You don't have to stay in that place mentally. God will clean your heart. Not today. This week, I had a moment where I had to call Brandon. I had to text Brandon. I had to text my wife and just tell him, man, I'm feeling super bombarded by these thoughts that are not of God. I'm feeling very, I just feel very attacked right now, at least mentally. And so when I felt that way, I stepped away. I opened up my Bible out, found that verse, and prayed, God, please just, create a clean heart in me. And then immediately after, I thank God, thank you for this heart that you have given me. I thank you that those thoughts they do not live in my mind. They're trying to live there, but they don't have authority to live there. I rebuke those thoughts. I cast those thoughts out. I don't want them to stay. And the proof of me not wanting them to stay is me finding scripture that completely, attacks those thoughts. So if you're feeling like, especially when you've had such a long fight with porn, man, it's very hard to get away from those thoughts, from just lustful thoughts. It's very hard. And so let me tell you this: if you've had that strong addiction to porn, and you stop watching it, but you're like, why am I still having these thoughts? I'm going to tell you right now, it's very normal to have those thoughts, because you were used to it for so long that your mind, your heart isn't used to not looking at things a certain way. And so find scripture that helps you. If you have a thought that goes against what your spirit tells you, find a scripture that supports you, that supports your spirit. And I promise you, like that will really help you. But I'm telling you right now that what helped me was talking to my accountability. I had both of them send me scripture, and both of them prayed for me. And not only did I have them send me scripture and then pray for me, I prayed for myself, and I found scripture for myself. Sometimes your accountability is not going to be there. Like, we're human. That's what God is for. If they didn't text me, God would have had my back, because I looked for scripture myself. So don't put it all on your accountability. There's work on your part to find the scripture and to renew your mind, and then you rest in that. There's more of the rest part than the work. The work part was finding scripture, and that was it. And now that I found the scripture, okay, I need to rest in it. God, I thank you that you've given me a clean heart. I thank you that you've given me a clean mind. I thank you that you're telling me that you are now showing me that those thoughts do not have dominion over me. They are not, residents in my mind. I can kick them out. I can, what's the word when you kick things out? When you kick people out? I can evict them. That took me a minute to think about. So, just be encouraged, guys. Like, this journey is not easy, but if you're consistent, if you let God be your rock, He'll never fail you. For real. He will always support you. The next thread is, what I'm trying to do here is get you to relax. Not to be so preoccupied with getting so you can respond to God's giving. Don't be afraid of missing out. You're my dearest friends. The Father wants to give you the very kingdom itself. Luke 12, verse 29 through 32. That's the Message version. I see that there's a consistent mentality when it comes to my consistent sin. A lack mentality, missing out mentality, receiving mentality. But the truth is, my dreams will never be truly met and exceeded as long as I desire and chase things not of God. See, God will give you what you want, right? God will give you what you're asking for, but as long as you chase those things that He's not trying to give you, you're pushing it away. As long as God will give me a wife if I ask for one, but as long as I don't, have a good temper, if I continue if I continue to be angry towards my wife, that could push her away. God is not a withholder of gifts. Your attitude and your behavior can damage the gifts that He's given you. I was listening to a message by Pastor Robert Morris, incredible message. It was his it was talking about influences, talking about King David and how he he slept with Bathsheba. But Pastor Robert Morris, he did some studies, and he said he found out that David knew Bathsheba's grandfather, father, and husband, and he may have met Bathsheba before the moment that he saw her taking a shower. And so he said he thinks that this might be one of those premeditated moments when David had lust in his heart for now. This is all assumed, okay? I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth. I'm not changing the Bible. This is just assumed. But when you have an unchecked heart and you don't attack those thoughts, when they happen, it could lead to it growing. Like, think about it. Men don't go out and cheat the first moment they feel like cheating. They've had moments where they felt like cheating. They've had moments where they felt like they weren't, being loved by their wife or whatever. They don't just go out and decide to do it. Nobody goes out and buys a expensive car just because they thought of doing it that moment. No, there were moments. There was moments of them feeling like, man, I really lack right now. There's really, I really don't have a good car. Like, a good car means I'm a high value person. And so the moral of what this verse means to me is just check your heart. When those thoughts creep in that don't agree with your spirit, check that the moment that you feel it, because it can turn into something bigger later. And if it turns into something bigger later, then you might try to handle it yourself, turning it into something worse. So taking a good thing to worse because you decided not to check that one thing because you thought it was a little pest, So that's all I have for you today. I hope that somebody's encouraged by what I'm saying. I hope that somebody is able to receive something from what I'm saying. That's really what I pray. At least one person, really benefits from these talks that I have. But this is what I'm gonna say to you guys that support creators. There's one thing that really kind of hurts me the most is when people text other people about how they like what I'm doing. Like, if Bob texts Sally about what I'm doing, I don't see that. Bob just texts me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the love, but show the love to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that's making it. Don't tell Sally that I'm doing good. Just tell me. And I appreciate it. Continue to like these videos. If you do like these videos, send it to one of your friends or something. Maybe it will help them out. Maybe they're going through something. You never know. A lot of people, we struggle in silence. I struggled in silence for a long time. And I feel like God is encouraging me to be very public about it. It's very hard and difficult. I would just say that He's really showing me that it's necessary. It's necessary to do this and really be transparent. So I love you guys. Thank you for joining this video. Remember, follow me on Threads if you're not. I'm putting the link again right here. And see you guys next time.